thousands of years ago, they were Apollo, Zeus, Ares. Now they are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the other heroes and villains of DC and Marvel Comics. Join us every week as we discuss the legendary stories, characters, concepts, and other parts of comics as we examine the modern pantheon of heroes. Let's get heroic. Welcome to Under Two Capes, the podcast for the comic book fan. Welcome to Under Two Capes. I am Jared.
And I'm Lad.
So today is a very special combo episode. So first, we are going to do the Suicide Squad / Thunderbolts episode for Marvel and DC, but this is also our 1 year anniversary of being a show. Boy, has time flown by.
Man, I can't believe it's really been a year.
Been a year for me. I think you hopped on at least like 6 episodes in, but it still counts for you. Still counts for you. All right. So Lana and I are gonna go through our teams, and then we'll and then what we'll do as soon as we're done with the Suicide Squad part, we'll go over to our special 1 year celebration. So, Lad, do you want to start with DC or Marvel?
I guess we start with DC. I mean, since it's mainly the Suicide Squad.
That's the order I have. So, all right. So let me do this. All right. I am going to just share my screen real quick and then play from start. Okay, Lad, can you see this?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. So you want me to go first?
Yep. Yeah. Why don't you start us off?
All right. So those of you who saw our episode earlier, like really earlier, that dealt with the Justice League Avengers, you know I like to draft characters onto teams based on the roles that they will play on the team. But also with this one, I had some fun with like who would interact interestingly with who. So for my team leader, I have Deathstroke.
Oh, nice.
For a lot of different reasons, he has the special forces training, but here's the other thing. He also, one of his enhancements is to his brain. So he thinks faster. He's able to process information faster. So I figured with an enhanced brain, he could be a great like tactical leader.
Yeah.
Next, the weapons specialist, Deadshot.
Deadshot, all right.
Good old Floyd. Yeah, you can't go as for a DC gun guy, you can't go better than Deadshot.
Okay, that's a good point.
The legend is he's never missed.
So sometimes I actually get confused between Deadshot and Deathstroke. Like sometimes I feel like Deadshot just like a different flavor of Deathstroke. Kind
of, because Deathstroke is more ninja-like and Deadshot's more Punisher-like.
I see. Yeah, that's fair.
I guess, but they're both like mercenaries for hire, so there is that. And here's the other important thing: Deathstroke is missing an eye.
That's true.
That is a very important difference. All right, next one. All right, so Deathstroke. Okay, so this is going to be a character that's kind of obscure, but if you saw Young Justice, it makes sense. Blockbuster. He is my bruiser.
Blockbuster. I've never actually seen him before.
He was the dog. Did you see the first episode of Young Justice?
No, I haven't actually.
All right, so he was a scientist that took this formula that turned him, I believe, permanently into this hulking monster. So he's like super strong and all that. He's really, really powerful. So I figured he would serve as the role like maybe King Shark would normally serve on the squad, as like the main like bruiser, the guy you go to if you really want something smashed.
Right.
All right. My next DC character, here's the comedic relief. Kite Man.
Kite Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
And the Kite Man from the Harley Quinn. Yeah. Because this guy is
Let's
like
go.
so great. Because he's constantly talking about kites for obvious reasons. It's kind of funny when he takes a shower, he leaves on the mask.
Nice.
It's like there's this one episode where he's lounging around in a towel and he has the mask on, but he's got a towel around his waist.
That's funny.
It is so funny, particularly when he gets engaged to Poison Ivy, and I'm talking about the Harley Quinn TV show. And by the way, if you guys want to see the visuals that I'm throwing up, please go to Comics League Network on YouTube, and then they will be up there. All right. Now, for tech specialist, I chose the Riddler.
Ooh, Riddler. That's a good choice, actually. Yeah.
He is a super genius when it comes to technology. How else can he design all those traps? So I figured he would be the guy, like, again, the team through like security doors and such, causing a distraction with like to technology. That's kind of what he does.
Yeah.
And now my last one for DC. Now, typically on the Suicide Squad, one character always has to die.
Oh no.
That's why Suicide Squad. So I chose the Trickster.
No, not the Trickster.
And for those of you that don't know, this was Mark Hamill's character in The Flash. I think it was The Flash, right?
Yeah.
I always took that as they wanted to do Joker, but they couldn't do Joker, so they just made Mark Hamill just say, "Okay, we're going to dress you up differently, but be Joker."
Yeah.
All right, so that's my DC list. Who you got, lad?
Nice. That's a solid solid team. I like how you didn't give him a role, but he just like
killed on mission.
Dead guy. Yeah.
Killed on mission.
Just like the human sacrifice. Oh boy.
No, exactly. I know he doesn't even get a role.
Yeah. Man.
Actually, that is his role. Killed on a mission.
Yeah, I guess that's his mission. Oh
right,
boy.
lad, who you got?
So on my team, I actually have set for the leader. So I was thinking about doing Deathstroke as a leader of the team, but I actually did not do that. And instead, as the leader of the team, I have Robin.
Wait,
and now I put Robin as the leader of the Suicide Squad for my team here.
Explain.
So the reasoning for this is because it's kind of like a highly sensitive mission, and perhaps this is like, maybe Robin's committed, Robin that's fallen to the dark a little bit, kind of not Jason Todd. it could be Jason Todd, but more of like kind of like a Robin that became dark, kind of like Red Hood is, but is now getting a redemption arc. So
there's Damian Wayne.
Maybe the Damian Wade, I think Damian Wade, I think that's what I meant then.
All right, that works. I like that. That actually works really well for Damian Wayne. So
yeah, we'll go with that. Damian Wayne. And yeah, I think
so nice. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun to have Robin in the leader for this team. Just something kind of fun like that. And then for my number 2, I put Poison Ivy on the team also.
That is an excellent choice.
I like the plant abilities or just poison and all that. That was cool.
That is fantastic. Wow.
And I think Robin and Poison Ivy could have chemistry. I've mentioned it before in another episode. I mean, even though Damian Wade's maybe too young, but just Poison Ivy with Robin in general,
she could treat him as her little boy, her little son.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, it could be kind of cool like that. So maybe like an older Damian Wade, But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking there.
Cool. Who's next?
So next one, the list. I put. So this one is the really obscure character. I put the Eraser on the team.
Nice.
I'm not sure if you've seen who the Eraser is. Maybe just pull it up on the internet browser for people who don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. I like that.
The Eraser. He's a Batman rogue villain. and he literally has like a racer top
geez.
for a head.
Yeah, this is fantastic, lad.
And his ability, or whatever you want to say.
Look at this dude.
Click on the click on the first one, and then click on that second photo, even better. Like, oh man, click on the one with the comic book on the top left. That one's so good. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Like, this is literally no joke.
A
real
good eraser removes clues as they're being made.
Yeah, his thing is that he like wipes away the crime scene. I don't know if it's a special ability or whatever, but he just leaves no evidence behind so he can get away with crimes. It's such a ridiculous thing, and it's such a weird costume.
The funny part is that it's not just the eraser part. He has a pencil head.
Yes, I know. Like, what is that? Like,
that is great.
He has like a pencil head. It's so weird.
Well done, sir. Wow.
I thought it'd be perfect for Suicide Squad. Like, who even is this guy? You know, like,
I know exactly. That's great.
Maybe he's like actually like the most valuable member on the team because he like no one can track the Suicide Squad because he's always racing away the clues or something.
He's their like wild card character.
Exactly. Oh boy, yeah. So that one's on the list for sure. So
who else?
For the next one, I have Captain Cold. I put on the team.
That's a good one.
I thought he would be a fun one. I'm a big fan of Cold, and you know he'd be useful for a lot of things. You know, just to have that ice abilities and just also tactical, not tactical, but more just like was it robbery, heist know-how and such.
Plus the fact if they need to get like breach a door, he can just freeze the door and then they just punch it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, Captain Cold is definitely a needed member on the team. Definitely
not bad. Wow.
Out. Yep. So for the next one I put here is which one did I do already? Did that one. Okay, so the next one I put on the list was Clayface.
Wow. I'm not sure
Clayface,
how the bomb in the neck would work, but that's actually not bad.
Yeah, who knows how that would work? Bomb in, like, he could probably spit it out pretty easily. But Clayface would be really fun. I think he's a cool character, just like kind of could be monstrous at times, but also more just like a human-ish character. Like, I think he could be a really fun guy that's on the team, I think he would add a lot to just, I don't know, just they need like a hulking power, or sometimes they just need like the bruiser, right? And he can maybe like also like fit into like small places. He can squeeze between a crack in the wall or something,
like in a Lego game.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? He's constantly having arguments with the eraser because he keeps leaving tracks, and eraser has to like erase all his tracks.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. That's so perfect. Yes, that would definitely be what's going on there. Yeah, he's just like,
wow,
like the eraser's just like sweeping right behind him or
you're
something.
leaving evidence we were here.
That's perfect, actually. Yeah, I love that.
You're ruining my thing.
That's definitely what's going on there. Yeah, they're definitely paired up like that. Oh man, yeah, that'd be really good. Oh boy. Okay, so I think for the last one on my list here, I was thinking about doing this, and it's kind of like a really stupid idea, but I wanted to since I had a 6th person. I'm also gonna put Mr. Freeze on the team.
They could have him and Cold can have a cold pun contest.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. It's a complete waste of space, but I just thought it'd be funny if like they put the Suicide Squad together and they're like, all right, sweet, and we have Captain Cold and it's like and Mr. Freeze, and they're like, what? Why did you put 2 of the same people on the same team? It's just like, that's a complete waste. And they're like,
and then what'll be hilarious is that their mission, okay, Suicide Squad, we're sending you to the Gobi Desert.
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
They could have a rivalry on who's coldest.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
funny.
That's actually funny. I like that.
Yeah,
That would actually be a
funny.
funny comic. That the rivalry between him and Cold. He goes,
Yeah.
"You're just a cheap knockoff of me."
Yeah, it'd be kind of like a like rivalry going on. It's like it's like I'm more useful than you. I mean, just like I don't at least I don't have a blue head or something.
At least I wasn't in a bad movie.
Yeah.
I got TV. I got 2 TV shows.
Yep. Oh boy, that'd be funny.
That's great.
Yeah,
I like that. Man, you
yeah,
got some good ones.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think it'd definitely be like a fun pick.
I'm still getting over the eraser, man. Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, eraser. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be perfect.
All right, you ready for my Marvel picks?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so I have a little custom divider for the Marvels. All right, so for tactical lead, Taskmaster.
Oh, nice.
Because his thing is he watches you and he learns how you fight. So I figured he knows a lot about tactics.
Yeah, that's true.
I figured put him in charge of the team. So
that's a good plan.
For weapons, I picked a character that is kind of vacillated between hero and villain, but it's enough that he could be on a Suicide Squad. Frank Castle.
Oh, Mr. Punisher.
I'm like, okay. Now let me ask you this side. Do I have to come up with a story for why the Punisher would be on the Suicide Squad?
I don't think so. I mean, he's like almost like evil enough. He might just want to do some sort of mission or something.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad is called the Thunderbolts.
Ah, I see. Yes.
Yeah. Next. All right, for my bruiser, lad, you're gonna love this one. You ready?
Yep.
Hyperion from the Avengers Assembled.
All right, nice.
Because he was from the Squadron. I almost put out Hyperion, but then I realized, oh yeah, there's an evil version of him.
Yes.
Although
that's good.
Okay, I kind of broke my one rule that I told Lad, which was no one with godlike powers.
Well, maybe he has a restraining.
He's been
depowered.
Well, here's the thing: if he's on a government-sponsored team, they would depower him.
Yeah, because they don't want him to they need some of his strength, but he would escape, so they have to have like a collar on him.
Yeah. So when I said no godlike powers, I meant like no Darkseid or Thanos. So I think I'm allowed to go back on this. All right. So for comedic relief, MODOK.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. I still haven't seen the show yet. I plan on watching the show.
Oh man, MODOK.
Lad, you're gonna like my last two a lot. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
For tech, Norman Osborn.
Oh, that's a clever one. I like that actually.
Yeah,
Green
because I
Gobby.
figured he's kind of like the Lex Luthor, so he knows a lot about tech.
Yeah, that's a good pick actually. Yeah, that really works well, I feel.
Plus, when the rest of the team go into battle, all of them except Hyperion can be on Goblin gliders.
Exactly.
Can you imagine how cool the Punisher would look on his own Goblin glider? He straps like ARs to the side.
That'd be really crazy, actually.
He spray paints a skull on it because let's be honest, the Punisher would do that.
Yeah, he would.
All right, now you're gonna like my killed on the mission.
Ooh,
Dr. Octopus.
No,
but he dies in a manner that's very heroic. He saves the team.
All right, I like that.
Think
actually,
of him as the Diablo from the Suicide Squad theatrical release.
I see.
And that's cool. It's actually cool when he dies.
I like that.
Because you told me he had a heroic death in the comics once, so I figured I'd just throw him in there.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
Now, story. Originally, I was gonna put a hero here and let's put Kamala Khan.
No, oh, really?
And then my reason for her being on the squad would be like she wandered off of the Avengers compound and somehow ended up on the squad because she's always wandering off.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I got.
Oh boy, that's a good. Those are some really solid picks, dude. I think they definitely work together really well and have their roles on the teams.
Because I figured Norman Osborn and Doc Ock can have like a rivalry over who's smartest.
Yeah, that's a clever idea, actually.
And Taskmaster and Punisher can like have an argument on who's in charge.
Yes, that'd be really cool, actually, dude. I love that. That's a good lineup. Solid team.
Thank you. You have for your DC one. I was like, man, that is a team I would read about.
Yep. So here, look here. I'm here with a second DC team, and it's gonna be Darkseid, True Form, and then also it's gonna be who else? It's gonna be Dr. Manhattan, and then I'm also gonna go with
Injustice Superman,
Superboy Prime, Raven with her full demon powers unlocked, and then let's see, who would be the next one?
This is the God Squad, basically.
God Squad.
Trigon.
What about Trigon team also?
You already have two freeze people.
Okay, actually, I'm removing Trigon. I'm gonna put Doomsday on the team instead. Doomsday.
I don't know how that would work, but okay, Doomsday and Superman on the same team.
They would get along. I feel they would.
That would actually be kind of cool to see. I'm not lying.
And for the last one, I would put who would be like a perfect
Ares.
Ares would be really solid on the team, actually.
Oh, no, but the Anti-Monitor.
The Anti-Monitor. Yes.
Wait, here's what I don't get. How would you put a bomb in True Form Darkseid's neck?
I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But I think
I'll be interesting. A God Squad. Yeah, that would work.
God Squad.
That's our next. That's our next drafting episode. God level powers.
Yeah.
I'll just pick the Justice League. They all have God powers.
Exactly. We should do like a power ranking, kind of like it's kind of like a lot of them have like universe-ending abilities, but it'd be kind of cool to go over some of the most powerful characters. And
maybe some
idea,
actually.
On like there might be a few that we may not think about too much. You know, like Raven with her full demon powers she's like pretty powerful.
Oh yeah, she is powerful. I think of the people on your team, I think the most powerful would be True Form, Darkseid, or the Anti-Monitor. One of those two would be the most powerful.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe if I got rid of Doomsday and I just put Batman on the team because he's literally at the same power level as everyone else.
That works.
He's
there to gather intel on the weaknesses of all these other people.
Exactly. Yeah. He's just there.
Oh, sure. I don't have contingency plans to kill all of you like I do with the Justice League. Wink,
exactly. Wink. And like Darkseid would be saying to like the Anti-Monitor, it's like man, like all of these super powered villains here, and this guy is so evil. Look, he's like literally a bat himself, like a gothic bat figure. I wonder what powers he has. You know?
That would be great. And then Superman's like, he has no powers. He's weak.
And then Batman like walks over to him and like punches him with like a kryptonite glove, and he's like, ugh.
Where'd you get that kryptonite glove? Because I'm Batman.
Because I'm exactly. He just like operates on the god level.
He reaches behind his back and pulls out the kryptonite spear from BVS.
Exactly.
That would be great. All right.
Oh,
so all right, so did we do oh yeah, now you're Marvel characters.
Now we can do my,
but yeah, not bad, by the way. You had a pretty kick-ass lineup.
Yeah, we got distracted with our God Squad. Maybe we'll do a power ranking.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to do. All right, so lad, Marvel Suicide Squad characters. Let's go.
Marvel, let's go. So for the leader of the team, I was thinking like Taskmaster. But in the end, I decided to go with Agent Venom for the leader of the team.
Wow, that's not bad. He's a hero, but you can go with that. I think.
Yeah, I feel like he could be. You know, he could be more of like a Flag. You know, like position.
Oh, Rick Flag, that works. I didn't think about that.
Kind of like Rick Flag. You know, he's U.S. You know, but he's also is kind of, you know, villain-ish. You know, like he still has that criminal past, so he's still. You know, maybe he's like on parole or something, but he's the least evil.
Agent Venom has a criminal past?
Well, not Venom himself, but I mean, it is
Agent Venom?
Eddie. Well, it's Eddie Brock still. No, I'm sorry, it's Flash Thompson.
But Flash Thompson was in the army.
Yeah, but I mean, Flash Thompson was like evilish in the comics before.
I'll allow it. It's fine. Go on.
Yeah.
Not
Oh
bad.
boy.
Yeah, because that's true. My team didn't even have a Rick Flag. It's just a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, I feel like Agent Venom would be kind of fun, because he has like, that other mind there going on, the whole Venom thing.
That'd be pretty cool.
So it'd be kind of cool if maybe like, Venom may takes over sometimes or something. So for the next one on the list, I decided to put Beetle on the team. He's been on the Thunderbirds before. He's kind of,
first off,
you remember him?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yeah, exactly. Beetle, he's kind of like Boba Fett plus Iron Man, I guess, combined together. It's kind of what he looks like.
Marvel Beetle. I'm looking this guy up right now.
Yeah, pull him up. So he's basically, he
I
has
see.
a bunch of tech stuff. He's been in a few Spider-Man things, but he's, he is a member of the Thunderbolts. He's pretty cool. Has some cool tech.
Yeah, this dude.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Not bad.
He's pretty cool. Yeah, I think he'd be a fun one to put on the team. Next one on the list is Lizard, Mr. Kurt Connors, Dr. Kurt Connors.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
So, and I feel like it'd be really fun to have him be a bit unstable. Like sometimes he is like the smart guy, like he is running like the plans. He's the tech of the team or something. Coming up with the strategy, but then he gets switched into Lizard. Maybe he has like a shock collar on that Venom just hits the button when they need Lizard to pop out.
Wow, wow. You put a lot of thought into that. That's not bad.
Yeah. I think Lizard would be a fun one to do. It's kind of like
I'm surprised the government hasn't done that in the comics. Honestly,
I know, right? They should definitely do that. Boy, Lizard would be a fun one. Okay, so for the next one, I actually decided to put an Ultron drone on the team. So it's kind of like it is Ultron or, one of his consciousness, but not in like a super powered form we see him like in Age of Ultron or anything, but just more of like a regular power level drone body he's in. Where that he's actually
basically like, Ultron.
It's Ultron, yeah. But he's actually programmed to be a good guy, or his intended purpose of protecting the world. So that's there. But maybe like whoever's the villain of the story can hijack him or something, and revert him to the Terminator Ultron. That could be something that happens in the story.
That's not bad. I like that. That's cool. Mm-hmm. It certainly is unique.
Yeah, I think he would be a pretty useful member on the team. Alrighty, and for the next one, I actually put. So this one is kind of like a villain sometimes. He's definitely like more like the Punisher. I put Scarlet Spider, Kane, one of Spider-Man's clones
from Spider Island.
From Spider Island, yes.
He was the one that was in that really cool suit of armor that Carol Danvers threw.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he was in.
That's cool.
The bulletproof armor. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He has like cool abilities where he has like spikes coming out of his
arm blades. Yeah,
the arm blades. Yeah,
so much.
He's pretty cool. Yeah, and he like been like kind of evilish in the past, and then he died. He came back, and he's more of like a Punisher. Like he's pretty intense. Like he's kills people. So I feel like he'd be a fun one to put on the team where it's kind of Spider-Man like powers, but it would make sense he's on a Suicide Squad like team.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dark and broody. So I think I just have one last one, and I think. Oh, wait a second. Which did I do this one yet? No, I did that one. Yeah. Oh, and for the last one, I went with Taskmaster also.
That works.
Yeah, Taskmaster's a fun guy. I feel like, yeah, like you said, he has like lots of strategies, coming up with some plans or something, maybe help out Agent Venom. I feel like Taskmaster would be the one to try to betray the group. And, Agent Venom's keeping everyone in check, but Taskmaster is someone Flash has his eye on, because Taskmaster is trying to, he has some other plan. He's helping them, right? But he has a way to get out. And Venom knows that he's really smart and he can get away with it if he really wants to. So that would definitely be like a, conflict between the two of them where Taskmaster is like causing trouble or like, putting them into a situation where he can possibly escape. So it definitely would be, rivalry conflict that would be just on the team itself.
Yeah, it could be also a rivalry on, again, who's in charge.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Because Taskmaster's like, hey, I know how to beat you in a fight, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that works. That's a nice, man, you had some pretty dope picks.
Yeah, some fun ones I thought that would go together pretty well. It's weird because I feel like it was easier to do the DC one, maybe just because Batman has a lot of a big rogues gallery of just regular villains that aren't like super powered or aren't arch nemesis, or at least I'm just familiar with them. Like with Marvel characters, I feel like, well, who was I gonna pick? And I was like, well, Cap's villain is Red Skull. That's too powerful. Kang is too powerful. I feel like a lot of villains were. Oh, really?
Well, Iron Skull, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And Iron Skull with the cube, yeah, but just just a Red Skull, probably not. But I see what you're trying to do, because there's not a lot of like well-known or like we're not aware of it. Normal air quotes supervillains for Marvel as there are for DC.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
But yeah, I was DC and Marvel. Wow. I'm still reeling from the eraser. That's so. That is hilarious. It's just the fact that he's a pencil head.
He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
No.
No!
Oh no! I'm going away. I'm fading away.
He's erasing you. Imagine like he gets like merged with Dr. Manhattan. And he can literally just erase things from reality. Like you just don't exist anymore.
That would be so great. Check out for those of you on audio. Please go to Comics League Network to watch Lad try to erase me.
Yes.
All right. So now to our 1-year anniversary celebration. So I checked, and the first episode of the podcast, episode 1, where I did the introductions,
on
that episode,
Anchor, right? On Anchor.
Yeah, I looked up. It was published on Anchor, but it went to everywhere else.
I see.
That was published June 7th.
June 7th.
And that's today. So yeah,
that's today.
So we've been doing this podcast for about a year. And it's very interesting how we started doing this around the time that COVID really got bad and we had to lock down, because Lad and I couldn't really hang out that much. So we could at least like hop on a Zoom call every week to talk about this stuff.
That's right.
So first thing I want to do, I want to rehash our origin stories with all this stuff. Lau, would you like to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I can go first this time.
Go ahead.
So I was sent to this planet as a young kid. I fell into.
If you see in the back, you can see the L symbol for hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope starts with an H, stupid.
Yes, I was 18 years old when I fell into a vat of ladders, and I got my superpower.
You're the ladder.
Where I can escalate the emotions in people.
My name is Lad, and I'm the fastest ladder climber around.
Exactly. Oh boy. So I guess let's see. So where did I first get into some of the DC or Marvel stuff? I think it was with the Justice League Origin movie on VCR and on Cartoon Network. I think both of us have similar
Origin movie. Oh yeah. You mean the Secret Origin one that was basically the first 3 episodes of Justice League.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the Secret Origin. Yeah, that was the one. That was really, I think, the first thing I watched. I'll say first, like real thing. Like when I was younger, I did watch quite a bit of the Super Friends, and I really that's how okay. I'm sorry.
Really, we hadn't noticed.
I have to cut in. Super Friends was the first thing I watched, and that was so much fun as a kid. I didn't really know anything about the heroes. It was like, from the 60s, but it just was so like kooky and weird. Just like
my mom watched. By the way, all the old shows, Bob, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
yeah,
all the old shows that you're talking about, my mom has watched when she was a kid.
That's so funny. It's true though. Like I feel like a lot of people like know about it, so they put it on for their kids. So I think that my dad put it on for us, and it was like funny, just like weird, like like the Flash. Like that show was really good for introducing like heroes to the kids, and like they have the Justice League of America versus the Legion of Doom, and it was like they had sitting in the Darth Vader head, and they're all around like a Darth table. Vader head.
Yeah, I love that.
It's like it was really good, and they really had some, they had some silly stuff, but they really had, comic accurate costumes, and they also had some good storylines where they showed Superman's origin, Wonder Woman origin, Green Lantern's origin. They did stuff.
The origins in that show.
There was an episode where the Legion of Doom have like a time machine or something, and their plan is to go back in time and stop the heroes from ever becoming the heroes they are now. So they actually go to they travel in time, and Lex Luthor goes to Krypton and redirects the Kal-El's shuttle so it lands on another planet, and he never becomes Superman. And instead, Lex Luthor, he now is able, like, Superman doesn't exist anymore. And then Green Lantern never gets into the, what's it called? He never gets into the, yeah, exactly. Never gets into the core. And then the last one, I think One Woman, I forget what happened with her, but basically they erase them from existence, and the rest of the league doesn't remember them. And it's like this whole like plot twist, time travel thing. It was like really good,
so Flashpoint,
something like that. Yeah. So that was fun. That was a good show just to get me introduced to Justice League characters, and the Wonder Twins obviously are
assembled in this great Hall of Justice is the greatest team of heroes ever assembled.
Oh man, that was so good. That was funny.
Fun fact: now that you talk about Super Friends, they were actually very nervous making Darkseid, because back then there were a lot more controls over what you could put in a children's cartoon. So Darkseid, they were like, "Can we really do this?"
Yeah, it's funny because I remember when it was really cool because they had like the regular villains, but I remember when it was technically like I don't know, I think it was like a sequel series to Super Friends, basically the same concept. But the first episode introduced Darkseid, and it was like actually felt like he felt dangerous, even though like they really toned him down. But it felt like this is a serious threat to the league, and it was like he has an army, and he was like trying to like do whatever random stuff. But it actually felt like a threat. So that show it's made fun of a lot, but it actually did do a lot of good things to introduce children.
Not for Aquaman.
Not for Aquaman, unfortunately. But
it took years until it took years, and Zack Snyder to make Aquaman cool again.
Exactly. But that's when I first really got into some of, I think, any superhero. And then obviously the Justice League origin, Secret Origin movie was when I was a little bit older, and that really, was insane to me. Like seeing kind of like the Super Friends, but it's actually like, more dramatic, actiony. Like it felt like, wow, this is like a movie. This is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In terms of so full disclosure, in my youth, I watched the Super Friends on Boomerang.
Nice.
Yeah, because they always had that one thing at like in the evenings they would show like all the old cartoons, like all the action cartoons, and the Super Friends was on there. So I know a lot of what you're talking about. I also knew it was campy as hell, but that's besides the point.
It was so much fun.
Wait a second. How could you not talk about Batman 66?
Because I actually never watched it when I was a kid.
Really?
No, Batman 66, like that's only a more recent thing. Only like about 3 or 4 years ago, I started watching it on MeTV. Like in my history with DC, like I mean, I watched a little bit Teen Titans and a little
Love
bit
that
of
show.
Justice League, and both of them kind of scarred me a little bit. They're kind of scary. And what's it called? I like Beware the Batman. That was a really fun show that I watched a little bit on Cartoon Network. Batman Brave and the Bold was really, really fun. Like it was Batman, but it also was serious, but it had some fun where like had some fun events happening. There's so many good shows. And then I got into the CW with a lot of those TV shows, like the Flash TV show was really amazing and still has some really good stuff going on with it. Really like Grant Gustin as the Flash. I just have like
He's good.
He's really good. And I think that's the cool thing about DC that I've gone into with them is that they have a lot of good, a wide variety of shows you can get into, and they're not like tied to a specific universe. You can just, watch Super Friends or watch The Flash or watch something, more dramatic, like the live action movies, which were really cool. I remember watching Man of Steel, and then now we got to see the Snyder Cut, and like those were like really awesome movies. And it's just really been a lot of good stuff from DC just to enjoy, have fun with.
Because it's DC.
It's DC, yes.
Animation is what is their thing.
Yep. Now that really good stuff, honestly. That's definitely like my history with DC. But yeah, Batman 66 was only something more recently. Like because I would watch, like my dad we would watch some MeTV or something, and they have Star Trek on there, and then like they also had Batman. So it's like we were like, hey, let's watch this, and I was like, this is so weird. It's super extremely campy, but it's not just like campy for no reason. Like they are aware that they're campy and they play that up in the show, like
because it's supposed to be a satire.
Exactly. And the thing is, that's I feel like what makes it so weird. It's like kind of like a weird reality where people just are used to like crazy kooky costume villains, and it's lots of weird stuff happens. And the thing is that Batman always took it very seriously. Like he doesn't like joke around. Like he's very serious about what he's doing, and that's what makes it so perfect.
He says that as he tries to surf with bat trunks on.
Exactly.
As he does the dance.
Exactly, the dance and everything. I just really weird in the history of Batman, but just fun stuff. But yeah, that's my DC history. How about you, Jared? Marvel. Oh boy. So Marvel history. What did I first read with Marvel or watch? I think it was Marvel. It was always a bit later. Like I never watched any of the Avengers or X-Men stuff as a kid, and I just wasn't into that as much. I think really the first thing, like I knew of Captain America maybe a little bit, some of the characters vaguely, but I never like Marvel. Like as a kid, I always just knew DC. I always thought DC was more popular. I knew of them more. I never got into the Marvel thing. But then I remember that I was still a bit young, but I went to go see the Avengers in 2012 in the theaters. So I was like 14 or something. And it was, they're like, hey, let's go see this. And this was the first live action movie I'd really gone to see. Live action team up, but also this was the first like live action movie that I saw. Cause I was a kid.
It's quite a way to start off because that was fantastic.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I was always used to watching, animated shows or cartoons, or maybe sometimes I watch like a real life live action person movie, but never like a live action movie that was, fantasy or like fiction or like a spy movie or a thriller movie. This was my first time, and I was just blown away by it. It was scary sometimes. Like Loki was scary, and it was just so cool to seeing like the Avengers. It's just like all the different heroes, and then they had their dynamics. I was like, oh, the Hulk, I recognize him, and Iron Man looks so cool with his robot armor. I mean, I liked Bionicle as a kid, so that it was just really cool to just have Iron Man with this cool robot suit, and Cap looked cool. Hawkeye, Arrow,
the suit looked a Cap suit looked meh, but that's besides the point. And I love how they made a joke about that in Endgame.
Exactly. And as a kid, I didn't really realize that it looked kind of cheesy, but for the most part, all their costumes were really solid. That they all worked together pretty well. And Thor was so cool also, and it's just all these characters together just had this awesome dynamic. Just like seeing them together just felt like, wow, this is crazy. Like not just a superhero character, but they're all teamed up together. Like it was just something I'd never really seen before, and it was definitely had an impact on me. Just that was a unique experience that I just never just like got over. That was just so much fun, and I was like, this is so cool. So I went back and watched Captain America, Thor, and then I kept watching the Marvel movies as they came out afterwards. Ant-Man, and like I kept up to date with everything. And then eventually, once we met and hung out, we went to go see the Marvel movies together, and that was a ton of fun. And MCU changed everything with superhero live action movies and just that shared universe there.
Yeah,
so much fun.
It kind of set the standard, but I find that a lot of fans wish the DCEU was done like Marvel, and that they had like 8 movies before they had a team up movie. But what Marvel did was good, but there's another way to do it if you do this, if you do it right.
Yeah. That's
but
right.
Anyway, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Marvel did like set, I think that they really were the gold standard for superhero movies, and they still are to a certain degree. I mean, there is always Black Panther and Captain Marvel, but that's besides the point.
Oh boy, I like Captain Marvel.
Okay. All right. So I figure that we'll go over my history, and then we'll actually go over with how we met, because it involves this stuff. All right. So my exposure was Marvel first.
Oh, okay. Really?
I watched the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie in theaters. That was my first live action movie, I think. And I remember my mind was blown.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I watched both of those. 3 was nah. But as soon as I found out what Venom is supposed to be like, I was like, Spider-Man 3 sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it was that. On Boomerang, I used to watch like the Super Friends. Yes. My dad showed me the Batman 66 movie.
That's funny.
Because he used to watch it as a kid.
That's funny.
So, and then what had happened was, so growing up, I spent my fair share of time in the ER in the hospital. There was one point where I was in there for 3 weeks for a very serious like issue when I was 11, to the point where I almost didn't make it.
Oh boy.
So at that point in my life, I was kind of low, I guess. And so there was this one time where I was in this infusion center, having an IV bag hooked to my arm for like 6 hours. And I look in front of, so they had a TV screen, and then on the chair in front of me, on the back of the chair, so I could watch TV. And right below was the VHS player. And then they had a VHS of Justice League Unlimited. It was the episode where the Amazo android comes back, and all the League are like in space fighting him, and Green Lantern's light him up.
Nice.
I remember watching that, and I was like, this is so awesome.
That's so cool.
So I watched that one episode like over and over and over again that day. And then I got the Secret Origin tape, and that was it. It was DC, because see, the reason why I prefer DC over Marvel, besides the fact that they just publish, they have cooler characters, that's just me, is the fact that I have that experience from when I was younger. Because to tell you the truth, that my 11th when I was 11, that was like a really tough time for me, in and out of hospitals constantly, and it was always like Superman was always there. All these characters were always there to get me through it. I mean, let me put it this way: if it were if I had that experience in Marvel, I probably would like Marvel better. It's just because I have that positive experience. So anyway, I watched. By the time I watched the Secret Origin videotape, and I saw all the League show up for the first time, it was that one scene where Batman and Martian Manhunter are in the Batjet and they're being chased by those alien jets, and Batman's about to be shot down, and all of a sudden the Green Lantern catches them, and then Martian's like, help has arrived, and then all of a sudden they play the epic music, and the League members come in slowly. Hawkgirl comes in with a mace and just whack stuff.
Nice.
And then Wonder Woman shows up and like deflects everything. I was like, okay, this is it. This is it.
That's so cool.
So I watched that, and then I actually played the Iron Man Xbox 360 game before watching the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I played it. I wasn't really paying that much attention to the story. I was just paying attention to the fact I'm playing as Iron Man, because actually, well, let me rewind. I skipped ahead. My first exposure to Marvel, the Marvel universe at large, was the Ultimate Alliance game.
Ooh, yes.
Because I got this game because I saw Spider-Man on the cover, and I was like, oh, this is, I don't know who these other people are.
Yeah.
So I plugged in the game on my 360. I started playing it, and I get to the first part where I can change characters. So I'm like, okay, I can go play someone else now. I see this big roster in front of me, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's so funny.
And then I only played as Iron Man. That was it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't even Captain America. It was just Iron Man because I thought he looked cool. It was a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
It was Iron Man, and then it was Ghost Rider because I think he looked badass with the flaming skull.
Oh, yes.
So I played through that game, and then the MCU started picking up. So I started going to see those movies, and then I saw Avengers with Logan, and longtime listeners to the show will remember Logan when we did the Halo episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking out, the same reaction loud, and I was like, what did I just see?
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Because you're right. It's the first time we've ever seen more than one superhero in a movie, and it being good.
Right. Yeah. And the X-Men doesn't really. X-Men was kind of like that, but they were. It wasn't quite the same as.
It wasn't the same because they weren't in the classic costumes or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I should remember. I did see like all the X-Men movies between the Sam Raimi movies, but they didn't really stick with me that much. Like this way, the first superhero movie that came out and went, that was awesome, was Iron Man.
Yeah,
which is interesting considering the fact that when you see that movie now, it looks like it was made now. The special effects are fantastic on that.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
Oh. Also, fun fact: when I was in the hospital, I watched the Ang Lee Hulk movie, which we talked about, the Neon Green Hulk.
Yes, Neon Green Hulk.
I remember playing the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction game on my Xbox. That was fun.
That does sound pretty cool.
Where it's basically Hulk smash. That's it.
Nice.
So,
oh boy,
I started playing that. I played Ultimate Alliance. I played Ultimate Alliance 2. Love that game. Ultimate Alliance, I think, is if someone wanted to like be introduced to the Marvel universe, I would just put them in that game. That's it, because anything you don't know, you could have like conversation with characters, and you can see what all of the different characters do.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. So I went through that, and let me see, when was that? And then I remember I watched Man of Steel, and I was like, because I had seen the Chris Reeves movies, but it was the first time I've seen like a Superman, like a modern Superman.
Yeah.
With the modern CGI and everything. And it was like, that was actually my first exposure to Zack Snyder was actually 300. I'd watched that. And then when I saw Zack Snyder Man of Steel, I was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. Watch that. And then it was like the year before I entered college was when BVS and Suicide Squad came out. And I was like, I was walking into the Ben Affleck Batman situation with a fair amount of suspicion, because he had played Daredevil, and that movie was not good. I was like, oh boy, he's gonna be bad, because I came off of the Nolan Batman movies. Those are some other ones I saw that I love, but with the Nolan Batman movies, it was kind of hard to beat Christian Bale as Batman.
Mhm.
So then when I see Ben Affleck with the voice changer and everything, and he has that awesome warehouse scene, I was like, this is my Batman. This is him. This is
That's
him.
so cool.
And then Wonder Woman shows up in that movie, and I was like, wait, because that was the first live action Wonder Woman I had ever seen. It wasn't like Batman in 1966 or Christmas. No, it was Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
Yep.
And it was the first time the Trinity was on screen together, live action. So yeah, I watched that, and then let me see what else was I really got my exposure to comic. Well, so so in terms of comic books, where let me see, 2014, I would say, actually 2013 to 2014, somewhere in there. I remember it was in the middle of the new 52. I was taking a comic book drawing class for fun to like get out of the house and stuff. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to go buy one and see what all the hype is about. Maybe I can get some inspiration for my drawing. And I got Justice League The Trinity because and at this point I knew Superman and Wonder Woman were a couple, so I knew basically what was going on in the new 52. So I read this and I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. But then I had to spend the next 1.5 to 2 years convincing my parents that comic books were not just for kids.
You know, it's really funny because the comic books, I would say they're anyone but kids. Like the comic books are kind of
Have
violent.
you seen these stories?
Yeah, like it's I would say it's like kids should not be allowed to read comic books.
I'm not giving my kid death metal. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, it's
like,
pretty
geez.
intense.
Superman is punching a hole in the Joker's chest. That's not kids.
That's kind of scary. Oh boy.
That's why whenever I see someone that says, oh, comic books are just for kids, I'm like, you obviously have never read a comic book.
Yeah, like you see colors and it's just like, oh, it's for kids, and it's like, that's not true.
I was having this conversation with someone today. It's because that they're picture books, and people are hardwired to think, oh, only kids should read picture books.
Yeah.
No, not really. So anyway, I started checking out, and I collected all my like trades. I was a trade guy up through Rebirth too, and then I think around that time, Lad and I actually met. So you want to go into that story?
Yeah, I guess we could. Yeah, that'd be good to jump into. So we met like, was it like our freshman year back?
Yeah, it was definitely freshman.
Yeah, it's freshman year. I was saying that like I think it's like September 3rd or something like that. I
somewhere in there.
Need to find the exact day, but somewhere early on. And we freshman year. So this is 2016. Yeah, 2016, and we went to like I think it was a football game. Yeah, I forget exactly which. I think it was like the opening game, something like that. And since we're freshmen, they were doing a special event where you could like come down to the field and I don't know, like
high five the players as they come on.
Yeah, something like that. High five the players as they come in. And it was supposed to be like a lot of people, like a lot of freshmen, but it was like only Jared and I and like 2 or 3 other people showed up out of like there should have been like at least 50 people there. So it was kind of awkward, just chilling out, waiting on the side of the football field.
Yeah, so Lad and I started talking, and at the end of the event, he was like, okay, so want to go sit together? So I was like, all right. So then, I'll never forget it. So you're checking your phone, and then I glance over, then I see you have a Bionicle background, and I'm like, this is my type of guy. So then I said, oh, you like Bionicle? And then that started this whole conversation where like, we were into the exact same stuff. Yeah,
I remember because we were on the field, and then you saw that I had a Bionicle on my on my phone cover or something like that, and then we started talking about like Bionicles and Transformers and lots of different fun stuff like that. And then then we decided to go hang out, watch the game together. I think my dad was around at the time or something like that.
Yeah,
I think my dad may have sat or something. But yeah, it was really fun. And we just kept texting and just hung out on campus and do stuff together. That was really fun.
Mm-hmm. That was great. And yeah, and then eventually, yeah, exactly. We started hanging out. We started talking about all of this stuff. Like,
yeah,
look for this way. Under Two Capes is basically Lad Mind's everyday conversation. So
pretty much, yeah.
It's not like it was really anything new for us.
Exactly, yeah.
So in terms of, we even saw the dumpster fire that was Justice League in theaters, 2017. I walked out. I didn't think it was that bad at the time. But when Snyder started telling people what was supposed to be in that movie, like when he showed the actual design for Steppenwolf, and when he said Darkseid was supposed to show up, I was like,
yeah,
why would you release that when he has something that's way better?
Yeah, I know.
So for 3 years, Lad and I are talking about, oh man, this would be so great if they would release the Snyder Cut. But honestly, we did not think they were ever going to do it.
Yeah, I had zero faith. It was over. I mean, like, it just was ridiculous. It would never happen. It's completely illogical.
Yeah, exactly. There's no precedent for it ever happening.
Yeah. Like,
so,
it's crazy.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, just crazy.
Yeah, so we were hanging out all the time on campus talking about all this stuff. Then May 2020, I'm going into a dentist office to get a teeth cleaning. Now, I have to paint the picture. That's why I'm telling you all this. So I walk out. I'm in the passenger seat. My mom's driving. I check my Facebook just to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then I see the meme from Jurassic Park with Dr. Ian Malcolm going, that son of a bitch did it. And I'm like, I'm intrigued. What is this? Then I see the black and white poster of Wonder Woman. It says Zack Snyder's Justice League, HBO Max 2021. And for a second there, because this has happened before, I'm like, did someone Photoshop it? This has to be fake. This has to be fake. And then I see the tweet by Zack saying, this is for real. And then I texted you.
Yeah. I did not believe it.
My mind was like the okay, so you know in that movie Inside Out, the anger guy that when he gets really angry, there's a volcano spewing out of his head. That was me.
Man, yeah.
I was like, wait, what? How long was I in the dentist's office for? Because it seems like something that would happen like years and years and years down the line. I was like, what the hell?
That's crazy. Yeah.
My home immediately started texting you, and at the time, I wanted to. I was trying to start a podcast. I was wondering what can I do? Well, what kind of topics can I talk about that I know a lot of? Being a political science major, I thought I could do politics and government. However, that is really controversial.
You decide you want to have a job in the future, see?
Exactly. So I decided, let me go with something that's tamer than politics.
Yeah.
So then I remember the day that got announced, or like it was like a day or two after, I think, Lad and I FaceTimed and we were having these same conversations about the Snyder Cut. We can't believe it's happening. I still can't. And I'm wearing the sweatshirt right now.
Yeah.
But and then I realized it's a snap. That's it. Then I told Lad, what if we just do a podcast about comic books? Because we talk about this stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know Marvel, I know DC. We could just really just go on with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the YouTube channel because I wanted to be able to have like the visuals. And then I wanted to have like more exclusive shows on there. That's where like Knights of Mandalore, Orbital Drop Shock podcast, and all that came out. But yeah, it's because of the Snyder Cut that you're watching this podcast right now.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was like, that's why you decided, or you just finally decided to just go ahead with the podcast idea, because you had definitely mentioned it before.
Yeah, I was trying to start a podcast, but I was like, see, with politics at that, I can offend pretty much anyone on both sides of the political spectrum. So, and then the Snyder Cut happened. I decided I was going to roll with that. So I started reading up on my comic books, and I actually rediscovered my love of comic books, because you know how I like vacillate back and forth on what I'm into, but I wasn't really into comic books for like a year or so. I dropped off for like a year.
Yeah.
And then the Snyder Cut's announced, and I started reading it, and I was like, this is awesome. Why wasn't I doing this before?
Yeah, I remember very distinctly that like you had like a sudden, interest back into comic books, and we were talking about comic books a lot, and you got like a lot of really cool storylines, and a lot of our discussions became about comics and DC and Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I got this office so I could do the podcast exclusively talking about this type of stuff. Just trying to angle this right. All right,
I know it's just just really cool. I mean, you got a lot of cool collectibles. I mean, I know you've got your collectibles over there. You like to showcase everything.
And Lad has some pretty dope Bionicles.
Yeah, I got some stuff in the background there. I'm still organizing. I'll have to do a room tour eventually.
Yeah, we'll do that at one point on the YouTube channel. But
yeah, that'd be
so also so that's basically the secret origin of the podcast, if you will.
Yeah.
Now what I'm gonna do is I've been promising I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna basically walk through how I do these. So if you're interested in making a podcast, you can do that yourself. So first thing I do, I record on Zoom. That's just because it's easier. A lot of I can have the video call. And then what it does is when you end the call, it basically exports it to your computer as a video. I take that video, I throw it into iMovie and add like the intro with the music, and then the intro and then the outro with the music. And then I turn that into a video file, and then I throw it on YouTube. Then I export the audio and throw that onto Anchor. And what Anchor does is it's its own podcast platform, but it also distributes to like Apple, Spotify. It has a special deal with Spotify. In fact, I think it's a company of Spotify. That's why typically if I release an episode, it'll be on Spotify first.
I see.
That's just the way it works. In fact, it was on Spotify for like a couple of days before Apple approved it, because Apple has this lengthy approval process for all of its content. Rightly so, but that's besides the point. But yeah, and then in terms of how I come up with ideas for the episodes, I have a Word document that I just basically brainstormed on a bunch of topics that we can talk about. And then Lad and I will talk about stuff. And we're like, hey, we should do a podcast like this. We should do a podcast like this. Or like something monumental will happen, like the Snyder Cut, or like the Loki series, which we're going to watch soon when it comes out. And then we'll have episodes on that. And I'll write that down, say we have to do these episodes. But a lot of the times it's just Lad and I just brainstorming, like, hey, well, why don't we do an episode on like what we did earlier, where we make our own Suicide Squad?
Yeah, that was fun. Or when we decided to do like a trivia episode, like that was really fun to do. That try to stump each other with trivia, and I know a little bit more Marvel, he a little bit more DC, so it definitely has a lot of fun with just doing that. And when we do episodes that are just a bit different, like we decided to do some of the Star Wars coverage, and that's always fun to discuss, a little different from the comic books itself.
And then in terms of guests, the way I just get guests is that if I have a friend who knows a lot about a certain topic, like Logan knows a lot about Halo, Mitch knows a lot about general comic book stuff and Warhammer 40K. I'll have them on just like talk about stuff. Tyler knows a lot about Halo and Star Wars, so I have him on those shows occasionally. But yeah, it's basically like I'll just ask my friends, do you want to come on the podcast at some point? They'll be like, okay, sure. And they'll just talk about stuff. And then Lad started off as a guest, as a matter of fact. He was a guest on the episode where I think I detailed my favorite comic book storylines, I think. And then you did the episode on Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah, I did do the episode on Spider Island. And yeah, I've kind of been the co-host for quite a while.
Ever since, well, let me see. It was ever since episode it was Comic Knockoffs and Spider-Man, episode 7.
Oh, okay, so pretty early on.
Yeah, that was the one where we basically did a comparison video of all of the ripoffs that Marvel and DC have had on each other. Spoiler alert, Marvel was ripped off more from DC. And at the end of that, because I did character episodes, Lad did the character episode on Spider-Man. And then you just started hopping on permanently to become a co-host, because I'd originally asked Lad if he wanted to co-host with me, and then with his schedule, he wasn't sure if he could fit it in. That's partly why we record on Friday nights typically, or like sometime in the weekend, because that way that's like the most we're free.
Yeah.
We just happen to have a lot of free time now because it's summer. I'm only doing a summer class. Lad's graduated, and I'll be done in this semester, which means that so when the semester starts, the other YouTube shows are going to be put on hold because I will not have time. Probably I'll try to keep up with some of them, but I'm going to try and keep Under Two Capes active for as long as possible because I should be able to do it, but still on Friday nights and stuff.
Yeah.
And then beyond school, we'll see what happens. If a schedule works out like that, fine. But yeah, in terms of, let's see, what else can we talk about? Well, okay, so Lad, what's been your favorite episode we've done?
Ooh, so I kind of was looking through our past episodes, and I feel like there's so much, that we've done and covered, like cool storylines that I never knew about before. And let's see, let me just see. I kind of like went through a few of the things that I really enjoyed. Like, I think we both agree that the trivia episodes are pretty fun.
Those are fun.
Those are really fun to do. I think maybe my favorite episode, it's tough to say. I really enjoyed our discussions about the Snyder Cut. Like, that was really cool when we we just got to talk about it for a couple episodes after seeing it. Like, it was really cool to do our thoughts on that whole thing.
Oh yeah, you mean when we did the like 3 or 4 episodes on the Snyder Cut? After we saw it, yeah, that was fun. I definitely enjoyed that.
That was really good. Let's see, what was another one that was also one of my favorites? I think maybe I liked it when we covered the Halo episode. That was just like, a little bit on the side, but it was really cool. I liked learning about them. And what was like this other one? There was one other one that I thought was pretty cool. Let's see. I think it was just like maybe reading the Siege of Asgard. I really liked that story when you told me about it. That's a great storyline. That is one of my favorite Marvel storylines of all time. Yeah, that was really good. And one of my favorites is when we had Steven on to talk about if we were in charge of the film slate for DC, which movies we would come out with. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yes. And then I liked when we did the lore episode on Green Lantern. That was fun. That was good, yeah. Lots of research went into that one. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see. According to our fans, they liked the comic book haul episode with 18 plays. Oh, really? Yeah. The favorite comics with Mitch, and when we did Old Man Ghost Rider, I think I think that's what I did with Mitch on total. I think it had 23 plays. Neon Green Hulk, the Ang Lee Hulk got 15. Justice League History got 10. Obviously, as it goes on, as time passes, these episodes are replayed. Yeah. Yeah. In terms of our YouTube, our spoiler Snyder Cut review, the movie was like so long, has like had 19 views. That's our most popular one. That was like I said, that was a fun one for us to cover. By the way, Doomsday the intro to that episode where it's like we're watching the Snyder Cut 4 hours later. That was Lad's idea. Oh yeah, that was fun. Fantastic. I love that one. That was really fun. Yeah, we gotta implement that intro idea. That'd be really fun to do. Or just do little skits. We'll do more unique intros. In fact, what I plan on doing if they announce the Snyder. Actually, I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell Lad off air because that will be a surprise. It's really great. Oh, okay. Great idea. I might leak it though onto the internet. Yeah. Doomsday Clock was another one that was really fun. Neon Green Hulk, that was a big one. When you guys did Knights of Mandalore with Tyler's like a really funny guy to put on the podcast.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I loved where he went on a rant about Wonder Woman 1984 when we had him on for the first time.
Right. Yeah. I forgot. Oh, we also had Nicholas on in a few episodes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
It's been a while, but
That's where we did the animated episodes. Yeah. The Our Favorite Animated series. And then we did the one where we reboot everything.
Yes. Yeah. He had some good ideas for how to do the characters and stuff.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. He knows a fair amount about this stuff too.
Yeah, he does know quite a bit of, I think, DC lore specifically. That was a fun one. I forgot we did an episode on Stan Lee.
Oh yeah, we did our own episode on the man himself.
Yep.
And then I like the Dark Side War episode because that's my favorite story for DC.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Side War, I love that one.
Dark Side War is really good.
Yeah, I liked I know. I enjoyed the Marvel did Halo Comics episode.
Ha. Yeah, that was a fun one.
I also liked when we the 3 episodes, which were episodes 27, 28, 20, actually 27, 28, and 31, where we talked about the MCU in phase order.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was really cool. Yeah, kind of just the overview of our favorite stories from all that.
I also liked when we talked about the Squadron Supreme and how much of a ripoff of the Justice League it is.
Yeah, that was some of our
Their entire Earth is the DC universe.
Yeah. So I think really what made you start the podcast was 2 things. The Snyder Cut coming out and the fact that Power Princess was a copy of Wonder Woman was like the 2 reasons you wanted to start the podcast.
I would always go on opportunities to go on rants about that.
Yeah, we need to bring that back. We need to bring that.
No, because what happened was Lad is the one who turned me on to the Squadron Supreme. He's like, Marvel has a Justice League like analog, the Squadron Supreme. And then I look them up and then I see the Power Princess looking exactly like Wonder Woman. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, good Lord. Oh, man. How is this allowed to happen?
That was so funny. Yeah. That was a good discussion. That we talked about that for like so many episodes.
Yeah, the Arrowverse episode was like the only time I've ever enjoyed the Arrowverse.
We did an episode covering the Arrowverse.
Yeah, it's called The Batman Who Shoots Arrows. It's episode 26.
Oh, right. Yes, Batman that shoots arrows.
Honestly, a lot of these episodes, it feels like we were just recording him yesterday.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Some of these really do feel like that, doesn't it? Don't they?
Yeah, I like the ones where you had me go through my favorite writers and artists for DC and Marvel.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was a fun one because you know about those people a bit more than I do. I'm not as versed on the actual writers and animators or drawing people.
The artists, yeah. And then let's see. Yeah, the comic book trivias I think are my favorite.
Yeah, those are really fun.
Those are so great. But
yeah,
I gotta say,
those are fun.
For nostalgia purposes, I just love talking about the animated series. I felt that was really great.
Yeah, that is nice. I love talking about our favorite animated series.
Yeah, because heck, I just talked about how my origin with DC is like significantly linked to the animated series. Because let's face it, forget the live action movies. The one thing where DC has completely destroyed Marvel in is animated anything.
It's true. Yeah, they've definitely been doing really well with the animated movies, animated shows, and such.
And then another one of my favorite episodes was episode 56, where you did Spider Island.
Oh, Spider Island was fun to cover. Yeah, I definitely want to. It was a really fun storyline. I definitely want to like eventually refine my, I guess, hosting skills and we'll do some stuff with that. But that was
No,
really
don't worry.
good.
You were great. Yeah. We'll have you run more episodes.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. I really did like the episode where we covered some of our favorite animated shows. We did the episode covering JL and JLU, and we built teams together of our characters. I like how earlier on also you did like character studies like Venom and Black Panther.
I should probably bring those back
Yeah, we could bring back character studies.
because they performed fairly well in the past. Like now, looking back on them, they all have pretty much above 10 plays.
That's good.
Let's see what else. I liked the episode. I think one of my other favorite ones was when we did the review of JSA World War II.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I really liked that discussion because the movie was so good, and then it was nice to talk about how we thought about it.
And for those of you that don't know, so when we recorded and uploaded that episode, we had just watched it, so it wasn't like we waited like a day or so to watch it. We watched it, then recorded. Yeah, that was, and then the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut happened to come out the day before we normally record, so we're like, screw it, we'll just do it then.
Yeah.
Somehow it turned out by luck that it was on a Thursday that the Snyder Cut came out.
It was perfect timing.
Let's see what else. Any other really good episodes that we?
Let's see.
Were you on the?
Did you do it?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, didn't you do an episode with your sister about the Joker?
Yeah, I did a one with her and my mom about the Joker movie because they recently saw it. Because it's more of an it's not really a superhero movie when you think about it. It's more of like an artistic, like noir film, and they like that stuff. So I asked them if they wanted to come on my podcast and talk about it.
That's so fun. I never actually watched it. I wonder what the dynamic would be like.
Let me put it this way. Judging by the fact that you just told me you watched Super Friends and Batman 66, the Joker is definitely not your type of movie.
Yeah, probably not.
Jeez. I remember I liked when I talked about the Russian superhero movie Guardian, and I titled it "The Bear Has a Minigun."
Oh boy, yep.
Half the fun. I think my number one favorite is the episode 19, "Why We Love Comics."
That was the good one. You talked about some really good stuff there.
And then I enjoyed our fandom discussions on DC fandom because I was basically explaining to Lad about stuff because he didn't do that. Obviously, I have to mention I genuinely enjoyed the Black Panther episode we did.
Yeah, the Black Panther episode. Yeah, that was a good coverage, I think.
Particularly since it was also a tribute episode to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think we discussed some cool, interesting topics, like what direction they're be heading in.
Because as much as I hated that movie, I loved him as Black Panther. He was the best part of that movie.
Yeah, I really like Shuri also.
Shuri was pretty good. I'll give you that. I like Shuri. I'll give you that one.
Shuri. Remember when she tells in Infinity War when she tells Banner, like, well, why didn't you just cut his neural link from the stone and remove it from him using
like, we didn't think about that.
Yeah, we didn't think about that.
I like that. Yeah, I liked her arm things too, her arm blasters. Those were cool. Yeah. I'll give you that. Her and T'Challa were pretty dope characters. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. I liked, let's see, what other episode? But all right, so let's do this. In general, Lad, what have you enjoyed the most about doing a podcast?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I think it's kind of cool that we it just gives us time to sit down and talk about some stuff we like to watch or read or listen to. Just gives us a good place to discuss things, and we can kind of share our thoughts with other people by putting it online. other people can listen into it and find some entertainment from it, or just or agree with it or disagree with it. It's just really, really fun. It kind of like gets you into the, you can just talk about different topics, on your own, but then it's like, hey, we're playing an episode about, DC comics or our favorite comics or trivia. Like, it creates a topic of discussion that you go and research a little bit, and then you want to, like, have a discussion about that, so maybe it takes you into some places you wouldn't have gone normally, like your German superhero movie or Russian superhero film.
It was a Russian superhero movie. Plus, I think you appreciate the source material more when you actually do like a discussion podcast talking about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
Yeah.
the fact that that's on a Friday, we normally do this on a Friday, means that it's at the end of a long work week. So if you're burnt out with school or anything, we can just show up and talk about superheroes.
Yep. That's definitely a good point.
That's definitely one of the reasons why I enjoy doing it. Plus the fact, Lad and I have busy schedules, so we get to hang out like a fair amount, but not as much as we would like to. So this essentially means that pretty much every week we're doing something.
Yeah, and this has definitely been because during the pandemic we weren't hanging out because mainly I think Jared wanted to hang out, but like I was pretty scared of COVID, so we really did not see each other for a long time. Like I think we hung out, like it took us like a couple of months before we hung out our first time. Like that first year of COVID, we only hung out, like I counted it, like 3 times or something in person. Jeez. But we did the podcast, and so that was aside from like texting, like pretty often, we were on doing the podcast every week, or talking on the phone like every single week. So it really didn't feel like any disconnect. Like it didn't feel like we had like lost touch or anything. So it really just helped keep the friendship going.
Yeah, because like I said before, when we started this is pretty much what Lad and I talk about all the time. It's not like anything really changed.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, usually we're talking about something fun like this.
Yeah. So let's see, what else can we talk about? So for me, it's really like I get to hang out with a friend and talk about comics. That's really good stuff.
Yeah, and then we just hit record.
Yeah. Plus the fact it's a nice escape from like, because with me studying political science, the content I'm studying can be a downer.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's a nice little escape from all of the negativity per se when talking about this stuff, because for the most part I love everything I read. Mm-hmm. Because I'm very discerning about which Marvel books I read, and to a degree DC, but I think DC has more quality stuff. But anyway, so there's that. But yeah, Lyle and I can have disagreements on stuff. Like I think Batman 66 is kind of I want to see how Loud reacts. I'm only kidding. I like it. Despite the fact I think it's a funny show. I'll give you that. But so yeah, it's been great, and it is nice that every day I check Anchor to see how our episodes are doing, and to see like people are actually paying attention, and we have I believe I can tell if we have returning listeners.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's cool to see the channel grow a little bit, just expand the podcast in some different directions.
Or actually international. 91% of our audience is in the United States. 1% is from the Philippines. 1% is Indonesia. 1% less than 1% is from Brazil. Less than 1% is from Germany. I'm seeing what else, because okay, so the rest of them are going to be less than 1%, but we're pretty much in a lot of different countries being listened to. So that's interesting. That's cool. And then our age is 23. 65% of our audience is age 65. Is aged 23 to 27.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Most of our audience is male. I mean, 88% of our audience is male, 8% is non-specified, and 2% is female.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool getting to see a lot of our stuff get like really popular
cool.
and everything.
It's cool to see the stats on that.
Yeah, but it's very satisfying to like check Anchor and see at least some plays. I don't really care if we get like millions of plays and stuff, as long as people are enjoying the podcast and coming back to it. It's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, really.
I'm gonna do this regardless because it's not a job. I'm just doing this as a passion project. So
wait a second, I thought I was being paid.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, I'll take it out of your next paycheck.
Okay, sweet.
But yeah, and then I want to take a second and say thank you to our listeners for showing up and playing our podcast, because without you guys, we really don't have a podcast.
Yeah, no, really, it's a good point to really thank everyone for people that tune in or watch it for entertainment or put on the background or just whatever. It's really cool to just like have other people listening and checking out what we're doing, what we're talking about. If we provide some entertainment or just cool topics that you didn't know about before.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys have anything you think we could improve on, you can always drop a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast where it allows you to review it. You can go ahead and do that, or you can get in touch with us through YouTube. Just drop a comment on any of our videos or on Instagram at Under2Capes2020. I have to do this social push. But yeah, also, if you guys want to see us grow more and you guys enjoy the podcast, please throw us a 5-star review on Apple. And because what that does is it increases our visibility and our ability to be like, it increases our visibility on Apple.
Okay.
So, and also share with your friends, share with anyone you think would enjoy a comic book podcast.
Yeah, it's a casual discussion about fun topics and stuff like that,
Yeah. And once again, if there's any particular component of DC, Marvel, or just fandom in general, because we have the Star Wars show, we have the Halo show, that you want us to cover or that you wanted to learn more about, just again, get in touch with us through any of those platforms. We'd be happy to do episodes on that. I'm always looking for new podcast ideas.
Yeah, that'd be good. And
yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. Once again, thank you guys for listening, and we look forward to another great year of you guys listening to us.
Yes, yeah.
And lad, I'll try to get you paid temporarily. It's just I'm shuffling around a couple of employees.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I need my I didn't get a sign-on bonus. What's going on here?
I don't know. It's just I don't know, just a lot of complaint.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, everyone stay heroic, and again, thank you for listening, and we look forward to another great year.
Yep. See ya.